Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So I'm sure by now you've all heard that Matt Gaetz is out as the nominee for Attorney General of the United States. And in his place, Trump has nominated former Attorney General of the state of Florida, Pam Bondi. Now, I take a look at every single nominee to see how and where they stand on the Second Amendment, because if they are favorable to the Second Amendment, you can almost guarantee that they are willing to uphold all of your other rights as well. So I decided to dig deep into where Pam Bondi stands on your Second Amendment constitutional right. We're going to talk about it today because, well, in my opinion, it's really not good. Now, real quick, if you're somebody who carries to defend yourself or your loved ones and you're doing so without an attorney in your back pocket, you are doing it the wrong way, because heaven forbid you're out there and one day you actually find the need to defend yourself and the details get a little bit fuzzy. You could be the one that ends up in handcuffs, in which case you will need somebody on your side, and that's where Attorneys on Retainer comes in. Now, with that Attorneys on Retainer membership, you do have an attorney in your back pocket, because if something, God forbid, happens, all you have to do is simply call the number on the back of that card, and you will speak to an actual attorney who can guide you through the next steps. They will also get an attorney out there to defend you. You can choose one from their network, or you can choose your own attorney. They are not an insurance company. These are attorneys that are working directly for you. So it is the same as having an attorney ready to go in your back pocket at all times. Now, like I said before, if you're somebody who carries to defend yourself or your loved ones, don't go it alone. Check out the link below to Attorneys on Retainer. I've got some discounts down there as well. But this is extremely important to your life, your livelihood, and your freedom. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the current nominee for Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, and where she stands on the Second Amendment. There are a lot of people out there that really don't know much about Pam Bondi, but I'm sure the people of Florida know a ton, because she was Attorney General of the state of Florida between 2011 and 2019. And if you know anything about that time period in Florida, it wasn't a great time period for the Second Amendment under then Governor Rick Scott. Now, I have some video clips here that I believe are from 2019 that will help illustrate my point that Pam Bondi, at least at the time, was very bad for the Second Amendment when she was Attorney General of the state of Florida. Under her as Attorney General, the state of Florida received age-based restrictions, meaning that nobody under the age of 21 could buy what she called, and I quote, assault weapons. So she is the one that upheld the assault weapons ban for anybody who is a legal adult, years 18, 19, and 20. It's just an outright ban. These are people who can vote, they can sign contracts, they can buy a house, they can join the military, they can do everything else an adult can. They have every other right, their First Amendment right, their Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment rights. They have all of their rights, but Pam Bondi believed that they had to wait a few more years in order to get the second.
It raises the age of purchasing an assault rifle to 21, and it's banning bump stocks.
Okay, now that's a comprehensive approach. I got it, and that's what you're about to do that. Now,
yes.
There are 20...
Now, if that wasn't bad enough, she was also one of the biggest proponents for red flag laws in Florida, the same red flag laws that exist there now today. And we all know that red flag laws are just another way for the government to be able to confiscate your firearms before you've ever been convicted of anything. They like to say that there's due process because the state can go before a judge, but we're just talking about accusations, not actual convictions. Somebody who's been accused of something, the state can bring that before a judge can give an order, and then they can have their firearms seized from them before they ever even know about it, and they get to fight back after the fact. To me, that's not due process, but she was all for that.
Well, here's what we're doing in Florida, because we have to have due process, of course, for those who have been civilly committed. And my office, we've done all the legal research, and here's what our proposal is in Florida. It's called the Gun Violence Restraining Order. And so, Stuart, if you're civilly committed, in Florida it's called a Baker Act, what will happen is law enforcement can and should automatically remove any firearms, because that shows you're a danger to yourself or others when you're civilly committed. Then after someone is released from civil commitment, law enforcement will have 72 hours to take to go before a judge and ask the judge if they choose to hold those guns even longer if they feel that the person is, again, a threat to themselves or to others.
Okay.
And again, this is about finding common ground. That's why nothing ever gets done in Congress, in my opinion. People are so polarized to one side or the other.
Now, inevitably, there's going to be somebody down in the comment section that's going to say, look, that was 5 years ago. She's changed her tune. She's changed her mind. She's a lot more constitutional than she was back then. And so we can expect great things from her once she actually becomes the Attorney General of the United States. But for me, it's just all about believing history. I believe what I can see. This is what I can see from her up until this point. I know that she, works at a conservative think tank now, and she's supposed to have, these conservative values. But again, the history shows otherwise. And for me, the proof is in the pudding. You could talk a huge game. You could talk all you want. But if the actions you take show me something different, then I am out. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Now, I hope and I pray that things end up a little bit different because from everything that I've seen so far, it's pretty much a guarantee that she's going to get the nomination. So from what everybody is saying, it looks like she's actually going to get the job. And so, yeah, I hope that things are different. But again, I only have history to go off here, and the history is just not good. Now, hopefully you guys found this informational or at least helpful in understanding exactly who is going to be the next Attorney General. If you guys did, click that subscribe button. It's free. It only takes a second, but it helps us out here quite a bit. Thumbs ups are always appreciated. And if you wouldn't mind, hit that little alarm bell. It'll let you know when new videos come out. Thank you all for watching again. Have a great day.